Morning all, at my granddad's allotment. So it's nearly the end of October and I'm going to harvest the ginger and turmeric which I planted about 8 months ago. If you haven't seen it, this is the fourth in the series, so I've done it from chitting to harvest. So if you have a look back at my playlist, you'll find it. Scroll back about 7 months ago, I guess. Right, I'll show you what I've got. Right, so this is my ginger and this is my turmeric, so I'm going to harvest them now. They're starting to go over. The ginger still has got that flower on which hasn't flowered, but not too worried about that. Maybe I'll get one next year. But yeah, I'm going to harvest it and I'll save some bits for next year, but I'll show you what I've got. I'll set myself up on the bench. Right, I think I'll start with the turmeric first. I've no idea what this is going to be like. But I'll just clip it all back and see what we've actually got. Never grown this before, no experience of it. Just got it, they were 50p a packet. It smells lovely actually. So 50p a packet in the cheap bit in one of the supermarkets. Fairly decent root system, and I've not really done much to it apart from water. I'm not even sure what I'm expecting. So I had wood chip on the bottom. I don't know if you can see wood chip on the bottom. I chitted them and then eventually grew the one in the pot in the house on the windowsill till they were a fairly decent size, and then repotted them and planted them here. And it came from a little tuber, sort of that big. So that's the turmeric tubers. So those there. So pick all these out, I'll find something to put them in. I might keep some of these ones to re-sow. Probably take them to the house to do that. And the ones that's already shooted, I might keep a few of them. I'm not quite sure what I'm expecting here. Turmeric I bought in the shop, it's just been like really small bits of ginger. I think I maybe could have got a bit more out of this if I'd have kept watering it. It obviously is a tropical plant, so. I'm going to dry this and use it for tea. Ginger and turmeric tea. Not too bad, to be honest. I'm quite happy with what I'm getting, considering it was only one tiny little bit I started with. That was the original one, I think. The original mother plant. Loads of little bits coming off, and bits that I can replant. That's a good size bit. Smells lovely. See, I've never grown it before, no experience of it. Don't know what I'm really expecting, but fairly decent sized bits of turmeric for the first time grower. See, the whole lot cost 50p. Or a pound, I was quite sure, I'm sure it was 50p. Because I bought the ginger and turmeric together. That was in a sale bin at, I'm really sure it was Home Base, which is one of our local DIY stores. Little bits on there. On that one. Right, I don't think that's too bad for something that started off like that. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plants that are still shooting, which I might just pot up and see if I can take them into the windowsill at home and get them to sprout again. Right, so I'll show you that. So that's it. Turmeric harvest and half a dozen plants still to go. Right, let's have a go at the ginger. Bit heavier, this one. Oh, this is still shooting, so again, I should be able to shoot this again. That, so you can see us. Let's see what I've got in here. Oh, I'm getting impressed. It's looking good, guys. This is only off one small tuber as well, and to be honest, it's got loads grown on it. Next time I'm going to split it up and put more into the box. I only had really one tuber grown in the box. I probably could have kept this going, but a little bit longer. But it's starting to die off and it's going to start and get cold in the greenhouse. I haven't really got anywhere to keep it at home in a box that sort of size. So maybe they'll start them off a little bit earlier next year. That. Not really massive, but I'm impressed with that. And they are still growing, so they probably would have kept going. So I might just split them off. I'm impressed with that. I mean, it started off with a bit sort of that big to that, considering it's grown in a cold greenhouse, no heating in Northumberland. That's it. Yeah, I'll show you what I've got, guys. There we go. So decent sized tuber. It started off with something sort of that size. These are still grown, but they will die back. But I'm going to split them off and try and keep each grown tip. There's our second one. Probably about 8-10 inches long. And you see these are all still grown, so I'll split these off into individual bits and try and keep them. Maybe overwinter them in the shed at home or on the windowsill. Right, there you go, guys. Good stuff. Right, there you go, guys. That's the ginger for this year. Pretty impressed with that. Ginger from one little tuber costing 50p from the local DIY store. I'm impressed with that. There's loads of grown tips still in there, but I'm going to snap them up, break them off and try and shoot them at home for next year to try and get more in the box. I will do it in the same sort of plastic box again, but obviously it just grows along from one, so the more of these grown tips I get round the box, the more it's going to grow. So I'll get a bigger harvest, learn from my mistakes. And the turmeric, again, 6 or 7 grown tips there, so I'll try and pot them up. And I'm going to thinly slice the ginger, put them in the dehydrator, and I'm going to use them for teas. Right, guys, that's the end of the ginger and turmeric series. Started off 8 months ago. It's all being grown in Northumberland in a cold greenhouse with very little care. Just watered at the same time as I water my tomatoes. And yeah, pretty impressed. If you've got any comments or tell us if anybody else has grown ginger and turmeric, any different methods, am I doing it right, am I doing it wrong? But to be honest, I'm impressed with what I got. So, see you on the next one, guys. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Catch you all later.